Please accept my humble obeisances. It's such a pleasure to be back with you. I get very excited when I think I'm going to be getting to spend time with you again. It's a pleasure.
Same for myself. I appreciate you very much. I'm very happy to be here and trying, to exchange some of our understanding.
I'm looking at your books. You have a nice collection of books.
Thank you.
I think there are times when we've been maybe all alone and our best friend was books. They could keep us happy and learning and never argued. Are you still writing?
Dialogue is the best. The Upanishadic way of teaching is the best.
Yes.
Then Plato.
Yes, Plato.
From Athens, he was writing the dialogues between Socrates and many sages of those days. And by dialoguing, there's much more enlivening. The synapses, they are connected, neurons, they are connected in dialogue. When we study, is lower, is less dynamic.
Yes, there's not the same degree of stimulation as in dialogue.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, good sangha, good company for dialogue.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am also the same ideas.
Yeah.
The same perception for me.
But you must always have good dialogue, because you have a school, you have students, you have colleagues, you're interacting on the university level, you're interacting with the government institutions. So I would imagine that you're feeling very content in the dialogue department. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes it's very intense. Many nights I awake myself just in the middle of some dialogue or in the middle of some philosophical or psychological problem to be solved.
Yes.
And, I'm even happy. I'm a little, I would say, preoccupied because, I'm not resting enough. But still, it is so delightful thinking to very concentrate and dense concept. So night is more, especially the hours around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's really intense because the ideas are very clear.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even the problems, are, I would say, showing themselves in a very strong way, because without any, I would say, shadowing.
No distraction. Yes, yeah. That's the best. The world is quiet. The world is peaceful at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Any misdeed or any mistake we did the days before, it is so clear. It speaks so loud to our consciousness that we wanted to, I would say, to make a remedy, to adjust, to give a solution to that problem we maybe create.
Yes, it's the best time for reflection, the best time for meditation, or writing. I think my best writing is early in the morning. You know what it's like. You're writing, you have 10 things you're thinking about simultaneously, and
Yeah.
you don't want any disturbance. You want to be able to follow those different thoughts. So
I have to say that even if we have a very isolated room, it is not the same thing to be awake in the early morning or to be in the protected room in the middle of the day. There is a lot of a difference.
Yeah.
Because it is not only the noises we are hearing or listening, but there are less vibration in the ether, in the akasha.
Yeah.
There are less traffic.
Yes. The environment is peaceful and quiet.
Yeah. The samskaras are the vrittis. Patanjali called them vrittis. Vrittis are wave. That they are disturbing our level of dharana and dhyana.
Yogas chitta vritti nirodha.
Chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga, that's that. Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha.
I know that we have a schedule of subjects that we wish to discuss. We are approaching the topic of old and new. We're trying to understand the application of millennial teachings, something very old, in a contemporary world that's constantly changing, constantly going through the deterioration of Kali Yuga, this terrible time. And so someone may say, are these separate or are they joined? Is the internal journey, the internal search for God, the search for our eternal identity, something private, something that has nothing to do with the world, or is it connected somehow to the world? I think there was a time when it was not connected. There was a time to be spiritual means you go to the forest, you go to the mountains, you go to the caves, you go to the ashrams, and it's about yourself, your relationship with God, your own meditation, your contemplative practice. But the world is so connected now. Everything is so connected that my conviction, and I'm curious to know your thinking about this, is that our internal progress is directly linked with the contribution we make to the community around us, to the world around us. They're not separate things. But I'm curious to know from your perspective what you think about it.
I think that your perception is exact, is very right. We are enjoying of this difficult time because it makes shorter our path, our travel, our journey to perfection, to get perfection. So the most important things is dying at the false identifications and rediscovering our nature. In this way, we can take a distance, a proper distance, I would say healthy distance from the turmoil, turmoil emotions,
Yes.
just to be inside while we are watching to the external world.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have not, we can't, in my understanding, we have a very, very nice discussion tens and tens of years ago with 𝗕𝗏𝗏, one of my best friends. I always thought that we have a duty. Just in incarnating, this incarnation as the duty. And this duty can't be neglected.
Mm-hmm.
So, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 means also 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 means that we are the combination of guna and karma in the present incarnation. So this combination, this I would say interaction between gunas and karmas, it makes our duty. Our duty is not dictated by Putin or Biden or Netanyahu. Our duty is the duty emerging from guna and karma, our guna and karma. And we can't betray it. We can't betray ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So someone may have a kind of an 𝗕𝗂𝗃 that is not enlivened or emotionally participating to the what's happening. So those people have not the same duty. The same duty of whom is really concerned. So if we have a kind of a sensibility, you can't avoid to take your duty, because that's your duty. That's my duty. My duty is going to read deeply for the second time the Hannah Arendt, The Origin of Totalitarianism. Hannah Arendt. So,
yeah. Hannah Arendt. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because we feel we have a relationship with what's happening. The only care, the real duty, first duty, is dying at the false identification and trying to live in the self, in the Atman. So we can do our duty, we can give our contribution. I'm giving as much I can. I may, if you like, I send you some videos I made in these times, because you know what happened from Hamas
so you've addressed these issues recently? You made recordings about these things recently?
Yeah. I mean, let's say we are not against one side on the other side, because maybe both sides are suffering because of other people, maybe those people who are governing them. We have to be really against the violence, but not in an abstract way, not in a abstract philosophical way. No, we should avoid to be violent, because ahimsa is one of the first principles of yama and yama. So we must be not violent. We can't use violence because our the people who are talking with, because someone used violence against me, so I can use violence against them. Bhagavad Gita is different, because before Bhagavad Gita is in the sixth parva, and there are 5 parvas first to be read very attentively. Otherwise, it looks like that Kurukshetra war was happening just in that first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, but it is not like that. We must be very conscious of the history.
Yes, yes, it's later. It's the 𝗕𝗵𝗴𝗶 section. It comes after. Everything else has been tried. Violence was not the first alternative.
That's the point. Exactly. Exactly.
Tried diplomacy, they tried negotiation, they tried...
Exactly. Yudhishthira made all the... everything was in his power to do. Lord Krishna, listening to Yudhishthira first, he went directly himself to beg for a peace, for an agreement, you know, sane agreement, you know, a loyal agreement. And he was almost arrested by Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, and so on. So when it happened that Kaurava assaulted the Pandava for many times, so they were requested to defend the Dharma. They were not defending themselves. They have not egoistic purposes in fighting. Actually, one of the best teachings of Krishna, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, please, you have to fight, but not for your interest. You should fight for me.
Yeah.
That's the real discrimination, you know, between wrong and right.
Nice karma.
Yeah, exactly. So the point is that if we know how things happened in the last 100 years, in the last 77 years, what happened in the last 40 years, in the last 20 years, what's happening, the history, we can honestly think that they are not the only doer, but there are a lot of major interest, not visible, not directly.
Yes, and, we can be the conduit for higher powers acting through us.
Exactly.